Hi, my name is Sarah Dennison with Manatee County Parks and Natural Resources. We're here today at Johnson Preserve on the Braden River to talk a little bit about wilderness survival. What would you do if you got lost on a hiking trip, washed up on a deserted island, or became stranded after a plane crash? What if you lost connection with the outside world and amenities such as electricity and running water following a natural disaster? There are 7 priorities of wilderness survival that everyone should know. No matter where you are on Earth, these priorities will aid you in making the right choices and focusing on actions that are crucial for survival in a potentially stressful and dangerous situation when your thinking may be frantic and every decision could mean life or death. The least important priority after entering a survival situation is food. Now, this doesn't mean that food is not important. Nobody likes to be hangry, but you don't need food right away. A helpful rule to remember is the law of 3s. You can survive for 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, and only 3 minutes without air. Always bring a snack that's high in energy and fat with you on any hiking trip or excursion. You'll thank yourself later. You may be wondering why water is so low on the list if you can only live for 3 days without it. But 3 days is a relatively long time, and the other priorities are far more important in the first few hours after finding yourself in a survival situation. Water from puddles, lakes, streams, and rivers must be purified before drinking, either by boiling or microfiltration, to avoid transmission of internal parasites and diseases that would certainly spell death in a survival situation. In a survival situation, we want to be rescued as soon as possible, and the best way to make that happen is to let people know where you are and that you need help. Before leaving on any journey, you should always tell someone where you're going and when you'll be back. If you don't return in time, they'll know to send help. In order for that help to find you, though, you need to be loud, visible, or both. Always bring a signaling device, such as a small mirror or a whistle, whenever you enter the wilderness. The mirror can be used to reflect the sun to signal an aircraft, and the whistle makes a whole lot of noise. Never scream for help. Your voice doesn't travel that far, screaming makes you feel panicked, and it wastes precious moisture that your body needs to be holding on to. You can also use fire to make a signal, or objects that you find to construct a large SOS sign visible from the air. Never leave the wreckage or wander far from where you become lost, if possible. Rescuers are going to be retracing your steps to find you, and you don't need to make it any harder for them. Fire is crucial for warmth, signaling, purifying water, boosting morale, cooking food, drying clothes, and scaring away animals and insects. And it's just plain fun to look at. Fire needs fuel such as wood, ignition, a spark or heat, and air to survive. Always bring a source of ignition such as a ferro rod, lighter, or matches with you in case you need to build a fire. And practice making fires in your spare time so that you're confident when you really need one. Shelter starts with what you're wearing. Dress to survive, not to arrive. Think layers, warm, and waterproof. When building a wilderness survival shelter, it's very helpful to have a large piece of plastic, such as a tarp, a trash bag, or visqueen, or a tent fly to make a quick, waterproof shelter to keep you warm and comfortable from the wind and the rain. You'll also need cordage, such as parachute cord, which is commonly woven into survival bracelets, or any rope or string you can find, such as shreds of a t-shirt, shoelaces, or natural fibers. Natural shelters can be made with sticks and debris. Build debris shelters thick to insulate and keep you warm. You cannot take care of yourself or others if you're injured. An infection is the last thing you need in a survival situation. I highly recommend that everyone take at least a basic first aid course, if not a wilderness first aid course, to learn the basic tips and techniques for tending to wounds and injuries in a wilderness setting when you may have limited supplies and unsterile conditions. Last and most important, the #1 priority of wilderness survival is PMA, or positive mental attitude. Your brain is your greatest survival tool. It stores the concrete knowledge and outdoor living skills and also intangible skills such as intuition and judgment, which govern your decision making. Without positive mental attitude and the ability to make rational decisions, your other survival skills and knowledge will be of little use. Survival, really being prepared to survive, means being able to control your fears, manage your emotions, and put your ego in check. To truly be prepared to survive, you need to cultivate a positive mindset in everyday life so that when you are pushed to your limits by a survival situation, your natural response is PMA. Thank you for joining me here at Johnson Preserve on the Braden River. For more videos, visit our Facebook or YouTube channel at Manatee County Parks and Natural Resources.